Hi, it's Mark. In today's Wall Street Journal, there was a story about the problems attached to covenants not to compete. You know, a covenant not to compete is a restrictive covenant that is generally used to prohibit an employee, although it could be a partner, shareholders, not an employee, from competing with the company for some period of time after employment, generally within a designated geographic area. The issue of enforceability of covenants not to compete is one of state law, and even those states that have a history of enforcing them, New York, for example, are apparently, according to this article, taking a much closer look at them due to perceived abuses. There was a story about some fast food chain that had its employees, counter employees making sandwiches, agreed to covenants not to compete as a condition of their employment to keep them from working for other fast food shops within so many block radius of the store, which is not what covenants not to compete were designed for. And essentially, what they're about is protecting a company's confidential information, its trade secrets, and that's a key element of the enforceability of covenants not to compete in those states where they're enforceable. Now, there are other obligations that employees, certainly officers, directors of entities, owed to those companies. And even in those states where covenants not to compete aren't enforceable or aren't readily enforceable, things can be done in the medical group context, in the context of other healthcare businesses, to increase the odds that your covenant not to compete will be enforceable. In fact, this is the case even in those states which prohibit the enforceability of covenants not to compete by way of the proper structuring of relationships that involve other types of covenants not to disclose confidential information. So just because you're in a state that doesn't permit or easily permit enforceability of covenants not to compete, there are ways to protect your group, your business, from the disclosure of trade secrets and from some other types of improper competition.